We're taking you around the entire park, a complete tour of every land and every attraction. And that includes this diabolical sandwich, maybe the best margarita ever, and some good old-fashioned park science. It's our State of DCA report, and this is Fresh Baked.
All right, guys, let's get this show started on a crackin' Buena Vista Street here this morning. And that is at 11:41 on a Monday morning, our typical start time. Temperature's about 68 degrees. It's a beautiful day out, actually. Nice and toasty, very enjoyable, very agreeable afternoon here as we make our way down Buena Vista Street. I'm actually a little bit nervous. I was expecting it to be kind of quiet, kind of chill. We were here on Friday afternoon, Friday morning. It's very, very slow, very quiet. But we parked at Mickey and Friends today. Mayhem there. Mayhem out in the Esplanade for entrances to both Disneyland and DCA. And this was after the rope drop period. After the park hop period, 11 a.m. And in Buena Vista Street here seems to be alive and well. I'm kind of shocked, a little bit shocked that it's as busy as it is this early in the day. But you know, looking at the calendar, I'm just, again, kind of like last Monday for our State of Disneyland report, all 3 tickets are sold out today. No reservations available for Magic Keys. Single day tickets are sold out, as are the 3-day park hopper for the California resident discount. All 3 tickets sold out on this very average January. You know what that means? That means 2 things. It means A, people are buying the tickets, they are buying the 3-day park hopper, and they probably have reduced staff. Because there wouldn't be any reason for the parks to be sold out today if they weren't, or if they were normally staffed, they probably reduced staff. Again, we talked about this last week, State of Disneyland. That's the going theorem. That might be something we get into later today as we make our way through the park, just to get a handle on, it certainly does seem more intense. I will say that. It certainly does seem more busy, more intense than we might normally have found, let's say, a year ago, this time last year. And that's Hollywood Blvd. Again, looking pretty busy, man. I'm feeling this. I'm nervous, but I'm also feeling this. I'm so happy to see people choosing Disneyland, to see people excited to come to these parks. I've been in such a good mood, in such high spirits in spite of everything. I've been in such positivity about this and everything else. I can't wait to see how this day plays out. And with that, I want to thank you guys for joining us on this State of DC report. For those of you who are new to this show or new to this channel, we're going to go through the entire park. We're going to spend an hour going through every land and every attraction, talking about what's new, what's happening in the parks. We're going to do a little park science, one of our specialties. We are very good at looking at queues and telling you whether or not you should get in it. We're helping to identify if it's a good queue or a bad queue. We're going to get into some food. Guys, there's a new sandwich at Pim's Test Kitchen that we're trying to get into as part of as part of Lunar New Year, which is happening as we speak today. But for now, let's get this show started. Do a little park science, do a little recon here in Hollywood Studios. A land that has been in limbo for years, it seems like, but even more so for the past 6 months when they announced the Monsters Inc. closure, and they're going to start building. There's something delicious smelling right now. They're going to be building an Avatar-themed experience here, or land, I guess, a mini-land. But we've been just sort of in limbo right now, waiting for them to pull the trigger to get things started. We'll talk about that in just a minute, a little bit more, but first we're going to walk into Mike and Sully's To the Rescue.
Fresh Baked.
Hey, good morning. Good morning. To check in on this queue right here. Normally one of the most intense and mystifying experiences that we have every week when we do these State of DC reports. It is a posted 45 minutes right now. Posted 45 minutes at 11:52 in the afternoon. Good news is that there's not too much impact right now in Lightning Lane, though they are kind of standing around and posted. That's not a big Lightning Lane crowd, and this is not a big, well, I've seen worse, I'll just say that. This is not the worst queue I've ever seen in Monsters Inc. You certainly don't like going back this far. They're almost all the way to the very last planter. 45 minutes does seem like a reality here. If it were me, I probably wouldn't get in this queue. I don't like the looks of having all but one planter filled up. And it doesn't look like there's no movement in here at all. Actually, I don't see, you know what, I'm gonna double check that, but I don't see any movement in this queue at all, including Lightning Lane. Do you see anything? I see complete standstill. Not a single switchback or planter is moving. Lightning Lane is not moving. Good morning, hi guys. Lightning Lane, this is probably why it's 45 minutes right now. They probably, because I could have sworn I saw that at 30 minutes when I walked through here a little earlier. There is probably an issue. But let that sort of be the first lesson of the day. If you ever see any queue, let alone Monsters Inc., if you ever see any queue exhibit personality like that, exhibit texture like that, where there's no movement in the crowds at all, not even a single planter, just come back later. I mean, it's certainly not going to do worse. You're not going to do worse than that. That's a bad start to your day if you're starting here. That's not the way you want to be. Hi guys, good morning. That's not the way you want to be getting into the Monsters Inc. queue. You can definitely find a better opportunity than that for sure. Just look at the queue. Look at how it's moving around. It ain't moving. That's bad. Now we're on Hollywood Boulevard, back on Hollywood, and this makes me realize, makes me want to see more concept art. Hi guys, good morning. Hi. It makes me, thank you guys. It makes me want to see more concept art for Avatar because, well, what we're understanding is where we're at right now, this Hollywood Boulevard, the animation building, anything, I mean, even these buildings right here on the back side of the back lot, all of this, everything is gonna stay. Like, how are they gonna make all of that work? How are they gonna make Avatar fit in this space where we are now while also maintaining this idea of Hollywood, of Hollywood? And if that's the case, if they're keeping Hollywood Boulevard, why not keep the red car? My assumption had been initially that they're getting rid of the red car, or got rid of the red car, because it wouldn't fit. It wouldn't make any sense to have a Pandora-themed land here and a red car going through it. That obviously doesn't make any sense at all. But if they're keeping Hollywood Boulevard, if they're keeping this side of Hollywood, if they're keeping that, then why not keep the red car? I want to see some concept art. I want to know what's happening. I want to know when they start taking shovels to the ground back here into the back lot. We know, for example, that stage 17, that's going to get demoed. Obviously, the Mike and Sully to the Rescue show building, that's going to get demoed. Most likely, the Hollywood Lounge, though I haven't heard anything about this specifically, but I assume it's also going. And of course, stage 12, which has been vacant almost completely since Electronica. But if everything else to the left of us as we pass by Monsters Inc., if everything else on this side of the back lot is, well, maybe not surviving, but not getting, it's not becoming Avatar, they could do whatever they want actually with the stage back here. Also not a particularly high functioning piece of real estate in the Hollywood backlot, this stage. But if we assume that is true, then what does that mean for Hollywood Boulevard, for the rest of Hollywood land? What does that mean for the animation building and the Hyperion Theater, which we know is not leaving also, or we have heard that there's just no change there. That also includes, for that matter, Philhar Magic. That building is also sticking around. I feel like my best guess is that they close off that land, giant walls go up around, make a box out of it. It's not a land that you walk into like you do at Pandora at Animal Kingdom. Hi guys, morning. More like you want something that you get transported to, which seems to be the trend these days. It takes a lot of real estate to do what they do at Animal Kingdom. It takes a lot of time and patience in order to slowly ease you from proper Animal Kingdom into Pandora. So I get we can't do that here, which is why I wanted them to do it at Disneyland Forward, but that's another conversation. My guess is that they box up this whole section here, or maybe not even that, maybe inside on the other side of that, because you want to, if you're going to preserve Hollywood Boulevard, you have to preserve both the left and the right. You have to preserve both sides of the street in order to complete the illusion that you're on Hollywood Boulevard, right? So they close it off inside these facades right here, and then you find some other way to transport people into the world of Avatar, maybe through, movie making, like it's a film experience or something to that effect. Maybe you're on set, or I don't know. I kind of hope they don't, but I guess that's how you incorporate. You leave the Hollywood theme in, around it, and you maintain Buena Vista Street, you maintain Hollywood Boulevard, and the transition from Hollywood Boulevard into Avengers Campus through the Hyperion. That's how you keep all that, I guess. It's just a shame that they have to take this as well, or what it was, and the red car trolley. Now I know that sounds like cause for optimism, perhaps, being that they're going to probably be keeping the Hollywood Boulevard. I don't think there's any hope still, though, for the red car. As much as I want that to be the case, as much as I would love it to be the case, I don't think it's going to happen. They've already given away one of the red cars. It's now just it's a piece of history in a museum somewhere. So I don't think that sounded pretty final to me. We'll keep our eyes and ears open, though. But next, we're going to Avengers Campus. We were here on Friday, and all three of the gantry lifts were running, Alpha, Bravo, and Charlie. I haven't been able to tell which are on today, but I am seeing a 55-minute standby right now. I actually pulled over to check. I've been out here for about 2 or 3 minutes now at least, and so far I've seen only Alpha and Bravo. There goes, okay, so we've seen Bravo, Alpha, Bravo, which means Charlie's closed. The far right, the far right gantry lift, Charlie, is closed, which means that queue that we're seeing right now at mission breakout of 55 minutes is pretty legitimate. That I would expect to wait exactly that. It's a fairly dense queue in there, not moving too briskly, and we have some competition. That right there, you hardly ever see Lightning Lane in that little garden area back there, so that's a switch. I haven't really seen much of the park yet so far, but I'm already thinking no-go on the first 2 attractions. By the way, you may notice these walls back here. If you follow our construction reports, we have been observing this for the past couple of weeks. These walls are here. They're tearing down the old Fast Pass distribution kiosk back there. It was a pretty big space. A lot of it, they could do something useful with that. They're putting in tables and chairs, which would be very, very useful indeed, because there is not enough places to sit here at Avengers Campus. In fact, we're going to have an opportunity to put that to the test because I am hungry, and there's some new food here at Pim Test Kitchen. We're going to get in there and get the spicy pork bulgogi and try to find a place to eat. And they couldn't get those new tables and chairs set up more quickly at the old Fast Pass station for Tower Terror because there's no place to sit. I tried to sit at Pim's. There's no place to sit, not anywhere. I came all the way over. They used to have seating out here. I don't know why they took the tables and chairs from this location, but this is where we're going to be trying out something that we saw on Peter McKitcher's video, Ordinary Adventure. They did their Lunar New Year video, and they tried the spicy pork belly grilled cheese. Words I don't think I've ever heard put together. Pork belly marinated in Korean spices with white American cheese, spicy aioli, pickled onions, sourdough bread, green onion crust. Interesting. Served with potato bites. And there she is. It's a fairly healthy sized sandwich. I have to say that right away. You get 2 of these. It's like, oh my God, that's a lot. I will say also, off the top, before I even get into this, kudos on choosing sourdough. Sourdough is the best grilled cheese bread. I make amazing grilled cheese sandwiches, my wife will tell you, but I've never had one with spicy pork belly. I'm kind of nervous, but I'm encouraged by Peter and Kitcher's reviews. Cheers, Fresh Baked. That actually is pretty darn good. The bread has been grilled to perfection. It's very well done. The green onion, I think that's the green onion that's been grilled on the other side of that. That works pretty well too, but of course the star is going to be the pork belly. And you're hoping that it doesn't get in the way, like it's not an off-putting flavor to be putting into a grilled cheese. But it actually does work quite well. It's quite flavorful. It works well with the cheese and on the sourdough bread. There's some of that spicy pork belly in there and the cheese. I'm trying to decide if I want more cheese in there. There's a healthy supply of the pork belly, almost to the point where maybe it might be actually too much, because it's still a grilled cheese, right? The bread is outstanding. That is great. Maybe a little more cheese and then a little less spicy pork belly. Interesting sidebar to this meal, by the way, while we're at it. That's a tot, you guys. They have given us tots, which is surprising because you can't get tots elsewhere. You can't get tots at Redwood's Tavern. So the tots survived here. So there are tots. You just can't have them if you go to Red Rose. You can hate them here, and I want to say there's another location that's serving tots, and this might be, anyway, you can get them here, but you can't get them at Red Rose. Why? The other side just, well, I don't know if it's a side, but you also do get pickled onions with your sandwich, which I appreciate. I'm having to do this one-handed because I love pickled onions, and they're a nice balance. They cut it's like eating ginger at a sushi restaurant, which I don't know, am I the only one who does that? Because I don't know anybody else who does. I eat the ginger like raw, first thing before I get into any food. Whenever I go to a sushi joint or Korean barbecue, is I eat a bunch of that ginger, clean the palate. But as for the spicy pork belly sandwich, it's pretty good. It's very enjoyable, very flavorful. It's a big meal. There's no way I might not even eat half of this. So it's a nice value if you're sharing a meal with somebody, and at $15.49 that works out pretty good. Yeah, I'm gonna give this 4.5 out of 5. I'm not quite there with Peter Kitchener because I'm kind of like classic grilled cheese guy, but it's very nice tasting, very good, and obviously a nice diversion from some of the other menu items that you get out here at the Disneyland Resort. 4.5 out of 5 for the spicy pork belly grilled cheese sandwich. I don't know why I'm having such a hard time spitting that out. Cheers, Fresh Baked. So that is the spicy pork grilled cheese sandwich at Pim Test Kitchen. Looks like things are still popping out here. And, my gosh, there's still no place to sit. And that worked out okay sitting over there. One other thing I want to add, by the way, if you are interested in getting that spicy pork belly grilled cheese sandwich from Pim Test Kitchen, plan ahead a little bit because they make them to order. So it's not like they stack them up like a fast food joint. Well, you're going to be in a queue, naturally, with mobile orders like anything else, but that queue is also, everybody else is going to be waiting. So plan ahead a little bit and expect to wait a few minutes to get that sandwich, but it's going to be worth it. They're pretty good. Moving on through, hopefully you have better luck with web slingers here. Yeah, we're over 2 so far on go situations. Monsters, no go. Mission Breakout, a no go. There's a posted 45-minute wait time right now on the board as we arrive at Web Slingers. The looks of this queue, and I like the look of that 40-minute wait time right now. No guests in the primary external bullpen, but there are guests in the blue bullpen back there, and it actually looks kind of sticky as I observe it, and as I observe the rest of this queue. It looks like it's a little bit thick, like they're not really getting anywhere, which is not a good sign. Could be an issue with ride vehicles, could be an issue with Lightning Lane. Actually, we can go take a look real quick at Lightning Lane. No, it is not Lightning Lane. There's nobody in the queue at all here right now. Still, based on what we've been seeing so far, at least that's more normal. It's about what I would expect. But I'm not crazy about that queue either now that I look at it, now that I think about it. I'm not crazy about web slingers right now. I mean, there's not that, the thing is, this would be the point where I would say, maybe it's a little busy, maybe there's a little too much Lightning Lane action, maybe try something that's not Lightning Lane, maybe try a standby attraction. But the problem with that is that there aren't very many here at DCA. You can always count on Spider-Man, though. Awesome. Look at that, Lunar New Year. It feels like I was just here, what was it, 2 days ago? I was just here 2 days ago. Liz and I were here for the opening day of Lunar New Year. We had an amazing time. We ate every single thing. We ate everything from that booth. We ate everything from that booth over there. We ate everything from the booth around the corner, the booth along the way, the booth over there. We ate all the food, every single thing at the booth, that is. That's our thing. It's our challenge, our food and wine type festival challenge, eating all the food. Had a lot of drinks and a lot of fun with our friends. I hope you guys have had a chance to watch that video. If you haven't seen it, do check it out, guys. It's so much fun. We had such a good time. Hi, guys. And you should not miss it, if only to get a chance to see Dave, me, in an altered state. But for now, we're going to take this story into Cars Land, figure out what's going on with Mater's Junkyard Jamboree. We'll just pop in here real quick, looking at a 15-minute wait time right now. Thank you. That actually is a pretty healthy 15 minutes. You might be all of that. We saw a queue like this on Lunar New Year, Liz and I rode, and we waited in about that same size queue. Hi, guys. All the switch checks are being used, and it looks like it's busy, but that's still just 15 minutes, at least for as long as, wake up, guys. All right. At least for as long as they're running both sides. If they're running both sides, they're in good shape. It's always a go situation here. You know, walking down Route 66 now, and I'm reminded it was this time last year where we did a report from what is now what was Blue Sky Cellar. We are now, it's been a year since Ken Potrock was taken, removed. I don't know if he was fired or quit or what, side promotion, I don't know. A year ago this week that happened, and we have a new president, and I'm just kind of wondering, how do you feel about the last year under the new management? Like, I feel, has anything changed at all? Do you feel any differently about Disneyland than you did a year ago? Because we had a bit of a list of things that we wanted, we were hoping that could be accomplished here at Disneyland with the new management coming in. And hold that thought while we jump into the Luigi's Casa dello Tires queue. Looks like it is posted 20 minutes. Now, a year ago, I said that there were three things that I was hoping to get out of new management. Three things, not that I was dissatisfied, others were, but if I were to hope for some changes from Disney with the new management, I would hope for getting rid of the reservation system, bringing back live entertainment, dedicating more resources to live entertainment, and treating their cast members better. Now, I can definitely say they haven't done any of that. Absolutely, definitely, they haven't gotten rid of the reservation system, of course. Not that I actually ever expected them to, but I maintain that the president who's in charge of this place, whoever does that, whoever gets rid of the reservation system, will immediately become a hero to all Disneyland fans. They will erect monuments in his likeness. They certainly are not doing anything about live entertainment. Things have not improved in that regard. And I guess the one thing I can't be certain of is, I don't think they're treating cast members any better. I'll just say that. If there hasn't been a strike recently, I guess is good. There hasn't been a strike, but I mean, I still feel like they're not giving them enough hours. Like we're in a time period right now where they're cutting back on staff. They're asking staff to do more with their time than they might normally otherwise because they're trying to save money because it's January, and that's something that gets forgotten when we talk about cutting back hours, cutting back shifts at Disneyland during January, which is something that's happening now. Yeah, it's good business. It helps them to save money. But what if it gets busy? What if they decide to start selling a ticket for 50% off, a 3-day park hopper? What if they decide they want to do that, and all of a sudden there's more people in here than they had last year, but they're gonna reduce the staff in order to account for some perceived lack of attendance. So now you're asking those cast members that are here today to do considerably more in that same hour that they would have done last year. It puts more pressure on them. It taxes them more, and that's, for me, that's not good business. I would rather Disney, just go ahead and put in the extra shifts. Go ahead and pay the cast. Go ahead and do the extra thing in order to make sure that the guest experience doesn't suffer. Because I'll have to say, you know, today's not been an A+ day for DCA. Let's see if we got any more luck here at Radiator Springs Racers. I'm not planning on it. I don't have a good feeling. It feels really like nothing is happening. It feels like everything is stagnant here in the park today. Creeping around the corner, and there is sure enough, that's an 85-minute standby for Radiator Springs Racers. Wow, what is happening today? As usual, we got quite a few takers for single rider. That's this outside queue right there. There's the guests coming inbound, or outbound, I should say. Single rider's looking pretty backed up back there. That's a good 25-minute wait right there, I would say, for single rider. There's no backup at standby. It means I'm gonna go in there and take a look. Let me see here, I can sneak through here. Okay. Passing through that threshold right there into the Radiator Springs Racers queue. I'm gonna say the back of the queue is at the fountain, at the Stanley Fountain. That's gonna be either a very deep standby or a very deep lightning lane, but the lightning lane doesn't actually look too bad right now, so we should find it. Look at that. Look what I did. The back of the queue is right here at the Stanley Fountain. Best of luck to you guys. Best of luck. I'm not gonna lie, man. I've been in this queue 100 times. I've done a lot of standby recon. I've done a lot of single rider recon. Been on lightning lane a couple times. That's always a walk-on, obviously, but that's a bad sign right there. I know, and it's not as bad as being out here, right? I mean, certainly you see the queue out here. That's not a good sign either. And I've been in this queue as well, at Rope Drop especially. But it moves quicker in the morning because there's not as much lightning lane influence, right? So the fact that we've got that queue back there, oh gosh. They must, there is more. I'm watching it now. More guests coming in, lightning lane. There is some activity there. Good luck, you guys, if you're in that 85 minutes. There are so few discounts here. It's so hard, especially at this time of day right now. 10 minutes to 2 is not the time to be getting into the Radiator Springs Racers queue. Gonna take a quick stop inside Flo's to just see how business is in here. No waiting. There you go. All right, no waiting for Flo's. Maybe the Big Dipper cheeseburger isn't taking off like they had hoped. But it's true. I've not heard very many good things. Matter of fact, I don't think I've heard any good things about the Big Dipper. I mean, our review was that it was fine. It was tasty. The pepperoni cheese sauce is actually pretty good, but the burger itself is the most average thing ever, and there's really very little else going on there. So I'm wondering. I'm hoping. I think they overplayed their hand on that one. Perhaps we'll see. Speaking of food, San Fransokyo is next. Baymax is here, awesome, and Hero. Still drawing a pretty good crowd, I see. That makes me very, very happy. Baymax is awesome. He's an awesome character and an awesome meet and greet. This queue at Cosina doesn't look too bad. That's just about 15 minutes. I might actually be able to forgive people for not using mobile order here today. But it would be still quicker than this.
First pick.
Hey, how are you?
How's it going?
Good. My bet is that's a now right now. If you were to just scan that app, you would see that the standby wait or the mobile order wait time, it says 2:45 right now. I'm actually kind of shocked. It's even 2:45. I thought for sure that would have been a now, but 2:45 you could obviously refresh that down to now. But 2:45, there you go. Check in on Aunt Cass. Hi guys. Love you. Pretty empty. No queue here to speak of. Maybe 5 or 6 guests there. Nobody out there out the door. Nobody waiting for mobile order here either. Interesting how we've gone from bonkers with respect to the queues for attractions, but waiting for food here is not that bad. During the holidays, we saw the exact opposite of that. It was pretty wide open in the queues and in the walkways, more or less, but getting food was next to impossible. No waiting. No waiting here at Lucky Fortune Cookery. How about tables? I see one. You're kind of in the middle of a bunch of groups there. I see one on the outside there. There's another mid table. Ooh, one on the end right here, but it's not in the shade. Slightly covered, wide open over here, although they're just taking that one. Some of these tables often are the last to go. Those are fairly open. What is going on here? What happened? That's probably it. 2:30 happened. This is normally I think I'm in this part of town a little earlier than this on a regular basis. It's been a very slow day today in terms of me getting around the park. I've been spending more time collecting B-roll today than I normally do for these reports. You may or may not have noticed said B-roll, some things I'm working on. You know, we talked about in our last State of DCA report my goals and, you know, things for 26 and what I'm trying to, you know, what I'm hoping for the channel, all that. One of the things that I have been, you know, I've been making these videos now for 13 years. Golly. And one of the things that I occasionally realize upon reflection is that I get angry with myself. I'm upset with myself because I'm like, what have I been doing this whole time? I'm still learning. I've been doing this for so long, you'd think I would know more, but I'm still learning how to do things. Not that I don't know how to do B-roll, but what kind of B-roll, how to shoot it, that kind of thing, when to use it, sort of. I don't know. But that plus some other stuff with respect to how the videos are shot and things like that. I just want to make a better product for you guys. I want to make a product that you guys are enjoying rather than me just, you know, talking at you all day like I'm doing right now. These long 2-minute, 3-minute long sessions in front of the camera. You know, I want to be better at this. I want you guys to like the show in a way that not just information, you know, because I'm pretty good at that. I'm pretty good at being positive. I'm pretty good at being friendly, and I'm pretty good at being informative, but I still want to make a better video. And so that's what I'm hoping to do for you guys also in 26, is just to make a better video so that you can enjoy things like this view right here while I'm talking to you. Isn't that lovely? Isn't that delightful? Let's go take a look at the tip board. Tip board it is. Let's get scanning. Golden Zephyr, 5 minutes. No wind today, so it is not ground. It does not look busy at all over there. Goofy Sky School, 45 minutes though. So there he is again. That's a pretty busy. That's pretty busy for Goofy Sky School. Guardians is up to 70. They're sold out of Lightning Lane. But it's easy to get a cheeseburger right now. Or Emotional Whirlwind is 20 minutes. Shut up, it is not. We'll see. Jesse's is 5. Jumpin' Jellyfish 5. Mermaid 15. Just took a peek back. Looks good. Luigi's is at 30. Oh, by the way, I forgot to say, it took us 12 minutes to get to our vehicle. That was 12 minutes. It was posted 20, took us 12. I'm guessing it's not 30 minutes. What? How is Mater's 40 minutes? I don't know. I don't quite get that. They must have lost a side, perhaps. That's the only explanation. Sorry, I was distracted because I don't know if you guys saw that, but there's an Incredicoaster car on the track. They're testing again right now. Monsters is at 40. Standard. Radiator Springs 45. Wow. So I had it wrong. You know, and I was thinking about that actually when I was walking down there. I'm like, wait a second, Dave. If there is no Lightning Lane, then that standby shouldn't be as bad as 85. Right? It might be 85 if it is all the way back in that queue, that extended bullpen area, just as you cross the threshold. So, yeah, maybe 45 does make sense. Because they're not using Lightning Lane there, it doesn't look like. Okay, Redwood, Silly Symphony's 5, Soarin' is 30. That's actually kind of a discount. And it's kind of toasty out, you guys. I wouldn't mind being in the Soarin' building right now. Return time of just over an hour. Toy Story 45, return time in 2 hours. We'll see on Toy Story. We're heading there next. Web Slinger 55. That's just nasty. Guys, give me a reality where you would get into a 55-minute Web Slingers queue. You know, over the course of time since Avengers Campus opened, I have become more and more vocal in my Web Slingers is just okay. It's a very okay attraction. Great idea. So everybody loves Spider-Man, so I get why they want to get a Spider-Man attraction in there. Great idea. The queue is good-ish. The pre-show's good-ish, I guess. But the ride itself is just so, it's gonna be dated. It's gonna be dated in no time. I don't know, man. I don't think people really want to do that. Like I think I saw a video where somebody said like hack is you just point or there's gotta be, I don't know, man. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. Plus the feedback isn't very good. Like I feel like it's like when I'm on Buzz Lightyear, I can't see where I'm aiming sometimes. You know, the little red light. I don't know which red light is mine. I think it's a little easier than Buzz is in that regard, but still I don't know, it doesn't work for me. Another plug for our Lunar New Year video. Liz and I, in the middle of the day, we stopped at Lamplight Lounge. We dined inside at the bar, and we got the Mongolian beef, and that was incredible. The Mongolian beef and the noodles, that was probably the best thing we ate all day. If you guys haven't, it was $34, so just saying. It's not like an $8 or $9 food and wine festival serving. It's a whole ass steak. But anyway, go to Lamplight Lounge if you have an opportunity and get that Mongolian beef. That Lunar New Year night that we had was an extension of my conversation that we had here 2 weeks ago about wanting to partake more in the park, but also in life. And I really did partake in Lunar New Year the other night. We had so much fun. I know I keep talking about it, but I want you guys to watch that video. We're going next, though, to Pixar Pier. And I was actually thinking about partaking in an adorable snowman over there. It has been such a long time since I've had a Pixar Pier parfait, but those things are hard to eat while I'm filming. I have to pull over and eat it and then go back to filming. I need something that I can walk. I need something that's portable, something I can walk and talk with. I mean, they do have. Hello, Head. A special. My goodness, a chili lime mango margarita. Maybe next time. That does sound really good, though. Missing the sound of Incredicoaster out here. Reopening February 6th. So we still got some time to go, although there's nothing happening. We talked about that in our construction video. They're testing vehicles, but they got another 10 days or so. It usually doesn't take that long to test. Although it did seem like it took a little while for Big Thunder, but I don't know, I feel like they're doing something else here at Incredicoaster besides some kind of refurb, track refurb or anything like that. There's no way of knowing for sure, but I do feel like it's connected, the stuff they're doing backstage, over there, right over there. On the other side of the Cadillac range there for cars, for Radiator Springs Racers. A whole bunch of work has been going on back there, and it kind of runs along this stretch. That's Catella Avenue out there on the other side of the Incredicoaster tracks. You could throw a rock and hit Catella right now. And that's where there's all kinds of action happening. Hi. Yeah, sure, you bet. You bet. Have a good one. And I think that's connected. I think that's connected to what's happening with Coco. It's all kind of there's the dominoes, and everything is waiting for that. I think they're waiting for the Run Disney event, the final Run Disney event that's happening in this weekend. I think it is February 2nd. I want to say it is. We'll see. What's up, Matt? How are you? I do think that everything is a little bit behind schedule right now, from Avengers Campus to Coco, to Avatar, and the Eastern Gateway. All those things are linked together, and I think all of those projects are running behind, probably because Avengers is running behind. How is Toy Story Midway Mania doing now? I would love to know. Hi. I mean, as 45-minute queues go, that's not bad. We're not seeing any action over here, or very little action for Lightning Lane. There's maybe 10 or 12 guests there. That's a reasonable queue. I mean, you're gonna spend about, I'm guessing, maybe 5 or 6 minutes in this exterior part. You're gonna spend 8 minutes inside. You're gonna spend maybe, hi guys, how are you? You're going to spend maybe, well, not even 5 minutes getting from there to here. So yeah, you're looking at maybe 13, maybe 20 minutes. And that, you guys, is Park Science. That is something that we specialize in here at Fresh Baked. Again, for those of you who are new to the show perhaps, or aren't familiar with what we do on this channel, one of the things I love to do is break down queues and do the math. I love doing the math on a queue. And so let me go back, actually. So this is we did a video on the Matterhorn, which is very similar to that process that we just went through. The trick is to break the queue down into segments, sections, and assign a time value to them. So as I was saying out here, I call that, this has actually gotten bigger. It's actually gotten busier. Oh my gosh. It's gotten significantly busier. Lightning lane is picked up also, and the standby queue is backing up. But you just, assign like 2 minutes, 3 minutes for a switchback. Count the switchbacks. If it's 3 minutes each, and there's 3 switchbacks, that's 9 minutes, right? So, and then inside, you time the same thing. Inside, I've done this before. 4 minutes in each direction, or no, I'm sorry, I said 8. I was wrong before. We gotta update that. It was 3 minutes each, but there's 4 switchbacks. There's one out, then one in, then one out, and then one back in again. 3 minutes each, 12 minutes total. So, and all you gotta do is figure, if it's full, give it the full 12 minutes. If this whole, if you see 3 switchbacks out here, figure 9 minutes for those 3 switchbacks. You're at 21 minutes plus whatever's left once you pass the mix point here with Lightning Lane. But that's nothing. That's still less than 25 minutes. And the best part about this is, if you are able to do that, if you're able to master that kind of thinking, then queues no longer become intimidating. They no longer become, or they lose some of that anxiety. Like you just, I don't know, should I get in? Should I not? Is that, what? I don't want to make a mistake. You won't. You won't. If you watch us, you pay attention to what we're doing, you won't make a mistake, because you'll know. You'll see that queue. I was just talking to a guest just now. She's like, I tell all my friends, I follow your advice, and I've learned how to measure a queue because I watch Fresh Baked. It's awesome. Thanks, guys. We can do the same here at Pixar Pal-A-Round, although it's a little bit easier actually than Toy Story because there's no Lightning Lane here. Lightning Lane queue science, or non-Lightning Lane queue science, is significantly easier than it is for an attraction that does have Lightning Lane, because it's very consistent. You can pretty much pinpoint it and not have to worry about any variables like how many people are in Lightning Lane queue. Non-swinging gondola on the left is measured at 20 minutes. Swinging gondolas on the right are at 30 minutes. They have just actually gotten quite a bit busier here in the last few minutes as I've been standing by watching. That's at least a 30-minute queue that we're looking at there for the swinging gondolas. What you want to avoid, if you can help it, is where it gets out here into the when it gets out of the threshold. But yeah, that's probably a 30-minute queue. Although I don't have a lot of reps measuring this because I don't ride the swinging side because it makes me crazy. 20 minutes for non-swinging is pretty accurate. I would say, I normally say that corner right there when you turn left, that's usually, you're looking at a 15-minute wait at that point. Good news for Inside Out Emotional Whirlwinds fans, whoever you are, wherever you are, it is back up and running. It's been down for refurb, but it is open. We saw, what was it? Did I say 20? It was 20 minutes, which seemed insane. Let's see.
What I like is
it is no longer 20 minutes. They're calling it now 15. And it won't even be that. No, this is maybe 3 rotations. On these kind of attractions where they put in a batch of groups or batch of guests, they run it, and then you just stand there while they're running it, and then you put in another batch. It's called a rotational queue in my book. Usually these look scarier. Hi guys. They look scarier than they really are. But you want to count how many people you think can fit into each rotation, which is just about the bottom of this ramp right here is one rotation. They haven't put anybody in yet, so it's actually just maybe 2.5 rotations. You're looking at maybe 8 minutes. Next door, Sully Symphony. Looks pretty good. That's a full ramp up there, but the queue is just at the bottom of the stairs. Again, this is rotational. The bottom of those stairs will be on the second set of swings. So there's the group going up, and then the next one after that, I guess. that's two rotations. I've got a hankering. something that we haven't done in such a very long time. For whatever reason, I do love getting a very tasty beverage from Bayside Brews. We don't come here enough. I'm not going to get the. I was thinking about getting the pretzel too, but I think we're going to skip that. I'm saving room for dinner tonight. I got a date with my wife tonight for dinner, but I am going to get the Lunar New Year margarita here. There you go, guys. That's the watermelon pineapple margarita from Bayside Brews. Tequila, watermelon schnapps, and pineapple juice with a chili lime seasoned rim. As much as I enjoyed the margarita that we had on Lunar New Year, and as much as I enjoy basically any margarita, namely the one that we had on the other day on Wednesday when I did the new winter foods, I feel like it's criminal. It's a crime not to have at least salt on the rim. Excuse me. I haven't had a drink, I swear, but I prefer the chili lime seasoning or the tahini. I much prefer that. But oh no, I lost whatever that thing was. I think that's like one of those chamoy things, I think, but it fell into the drink. It's in there somewhere, but I lost it. I'm gonna have to do that at the end. But these are so much better with the rim on there. Cheers, Fresh Baked. I'm not kidding, it is dangerous. It is incredibly dangerous how much I love these. Oh, it's so good. They should have sent a poet. That is absolutely outstanding. So we're getting watermelon and pineapple, two of my favorite fruits. I love fruit drinks, but watermelon tastes great in a mixed drink, and so does pineapple. Pineapple margaritas are one of the most divine things ever made. And of course, I've said this before, and I will say it again. This is my reminder that you could put chili lime seasoning on just about anything, and I'm going to eat it. Candy, fruit, margaritas, incredible. Absolutely incredible. 10 out of 5. Gonna take this thing on the road. Along the way, I'm going to reflect on the fact that I kind of wish I had picked up that pretzel. Kind of wish, because that sounds really good right now with this margarita. Pretzel sounds pretty divine. I'm trying to make my way across the street here. I'm gonna go check in on Boardwalk Pizza and Pasta. See how busy it is in there? I don't expect it to be. I've been sitting here waiting for the doors to shut so I can pass through and do a really cool aesthetic shot of me going through the door, into the building with the doors opening. And it's pretty busy. People keep coming in and out there. Here we go. We got it. But there was a whole bunch of people coming in and out of the building. I'm like, okay, are they busy in there? Not really, no. I would love it if they could update this menu a little bit. Spaghetti with meatballs, creamy marinara, or 4-cheese roasted garlic chicken. Oh wait, that is new, right? It is, right? The garlic chicken, like a quarter chicken, like just chicken. I don't think they've ever served that before. I so miss the. You guys remember the basil? Was it no the pesto? Oh God, the pesto ravioli with the whatchamacallits on there. I can't think of it now. They also got rid of the Italian salad. Now it's just the wedge salad and the side Caesar. That Italian salad. I had I've been putting it off. I was like, Dave, you gotta get back there and get that salad again. It would have been on my top 10 foods list here at DCA for sure. Amazing, it was so good. They got rid of it. Why, I don't know. Why would you get rid of something and not replace it, at least? It's just gone. Paradise Garden Grill, no waiting here. It's late in the afternoon. It's not quite dinner, well past lunch, so I'm not expecting to be very busy out here. They didn't change the menu here. I'm looking at that. It's the wet burrito, the tacos de camarón, which I think they had that before. The loaded chicken quesadilla, we had that before for the 70th. And the Al Pastor tacos, I think they didn't check. There's nothing here for Lunar New Year. I suppose there should, should there be? I don't know, no, this is supposed to be a seasonal, gosh, It's supposed to be a seasonal location. It's supposed to change with the seasons, whatever it is that they're doing. Guys, remember back in the day when it was strictly Mediterranean? Oh my God, I miss those days. I miss those days when they had a Mediterranean menu here at Paradise Garden Grill. Which brings us to Goofy Sky School. It was very busy when I checked the tip board earlier. They've got it at a posted 40 minutes, which isn't bad as far as wait times go. But as always, I ask you, please check in on the full queue, because I would bet my paycheck that that is not a 40-minute queue. There's no way. Let's try to do the math. Discounting any sort of excessive Lightning Lane influence, which I believe we cannot actually, because the Lightning Lane queue is backed up over here outside the threshold almost. But we'll call it 4 minutes. No, that's more like 5. 5 minutes up the ramp. 5 minutes on that ramp, that's 10. These two switchbacks right there, probably 5 minutes each also. That's now 20, right? We're at 20. Oh, it could be close actually. I may lose my paycheck. Outbound here, 5 minutes at least. And then there's, I can't tell what's happening on that other switchback back there, but that's at least 5 minutes. I mean 5 minutes. So you're looking at least, I think I'm being conservative. That's at least 30 minutes. Oh, and I forgot post-mix. Maybe another 5 minutes after you mix up there. So 35 minutes. And that's conservative. I would say, if I saw this a 40-minute posted wait time, the size of that Lightning Lane queue, which is, by the way, again, that's a factor. This is a no-go for me. That's twofold. They're using all of half the garden, and all of the switchbacks out here in the main queue. Bad news. Before we go, I'll note that the situation at Lightning Lane is getting considerably worse. Do not get into a queue that looks like this at Goofy Sky School. Even if this is all you see, is this Lightning Lane queue out here, right here? Even if that's all you see, that is a no-go. Do not get in. That's all Lightning Lane. There's 75 guests in that queue, and they still haven't changed it. It still says 40 minutes. That queue got maybe 10 or 15 minutes longer while we were there, but they didn't change it. You cannot trust the posted wait time. It could be right for a minute, but then it's going to be wrong. And we got a lot of comments actually in our video that we did for the Matterhorn, our Park Science Matterhorn video, where a lot of folks were saying, well, they feel like the queues are, was it that one? Or anyway, we had a video where we got a bunch of people saying it's like that. The wait time is wrong because they're inflating it so they can sell Lightning Lane. And I'm telling you, that's not the reason. I mean, it makes sense. I get why you would think that. The issue is that it's analog, that it's not at all automated. They are literally just visually saying, I think it's 40, putting it down and letting it sit there for a while, and they can't be there quick enough. They can't adjust it fast enough to keep up with what's happening in real time in the park.
Fresh bag, thank you.
Hi guys, thank you. The analog nature of the little red cards they give you, the analog nature of how they track times is not conducive to being correct. I guess that's the only way I can put it. So it could be high, it could be low, it could be wrong in both directions that I've measured many a queue in my days. Hopefully you guys can trust me when I say this. I measure queues for a living. Okay, that's what I do as my job, is to count how long it takes to get through a queue. So when I tell you that I have a pretty intimate understanding of how long a queue should be, I mean, it is what it is. So, and I've seen them measured high, or posted it's too high. I've seen them posted it's too low. They've been wrong in both directions. And it has nothing to do with any sort of, there's not that much finesse. They have a lot of finesse when it comes to pricing their single day tickets. They use a lot of finesse for that, but they don't use the same finesse. What's up? What's that? Yeah, what's up? But they don't have the same finesse when it comes to trying to manipulate us into buying Lightning Lane. They do that by putting Lightning Lane on attractions like Ariel's Undersea Adventure, trying to create value. Hi guys, how are you? Trying to create value in that way where there shouldn't be any. Let that Goofy Sky School queue be an example of it being wrong in the direction that you wouldn't expect it to be wrong. It's wrong because it's too low. It is not 40 minutes. Or at least it's not what Disney would normally call a 40-minute queue. It might wind up being 40, but if it were actually 40, they would put 50. And they do that because they want you to feel like you've won. They want you to feel like, they don't want you to have a bad experience. They want to err on the side of caution. That's a 50-minute queue back there at Goofy Sky School. I almost forgot to look at Ariel's Undersea Adventure. It's posted at 25 minutes. It looked pretty busy when I walked by. Guys, we've been here for so long. It is like 4 o'clock right now. And we've been at this for like 5 hours. This is way more time than I usually spend doing a State of DCA video. My goodness. Don't get the Impossible Chicken here. I highly recommend that you skip that. But do get the beer flight. The beer flight was incredible at Prosperity Bow. That was probably one of the highlights of my day, was that beer flight. Every sample was delicious. I'm stalling for time here as we make our way back to the queue. Oh my gosh. Is that a bound or a cosplay? What is, I don't know what the right term is. I think it's a cosplay, right? They called it 25 minutes. I mean, it looks busy, but it's not 25. It's probably 15. Are they down under the sea? If they're under the sea, you might be closer. Yes, they are a little bit under the sea. Under the sea is that section of the queue back here that's kind of hidden out of view, but it's an extra 5 minutes or so back in these switchbacks. I call it under the sea because this is where you see how they got this right here. This is supposed to be reminiscent of Ursula, or evocative of that, right? So as you come through here, you're going down below the sea level or whatever. You're going under the sea to encounter Ursula, etc. back in this section. Still got a little bit of work left. Cheers, Freshbeck. Kind of stunning, right? Kind of stunning. Like I said, I'm not usually here this time of day, so I just had to take a quick stop there and check out that view as Magic Hour has arrived here at DCA. I gotta find more ways to film during this time of day. My goodness, that was so wonderful. The whole vibe here right now, can I just say, the whole vibe in DCA is pretty amazing. I'm not sure how much of that comes through, but I do feel like I'm kind of in tune to that. Like, I can sense happiness or aggravation or anxiety or whatever in a crowd typically, and I mention that a lot when I walk through the park and I talk about how it feels. And that's something that I really try to stay in tune to. The vibe here is really, really positive. Everybody's having, it's Lunar New Year, you know? There's a lot of fun food, fun drinks, and good vibes characters out here. I can just see Horace Collar here, meeting guests. It is the year of the horse. It's a shame, though, they don't have that extra booth here, the 7th booth. This was always one of the great spots. There was always something good here at this booth, but today, or now, it is a meet and greet. Horace is very happy. Horace is happy. Guests are happy. I'm happy. You know, by the way, I didn't mention, or I think I might have, yeah, I'm having a date with Liz tonight, but our date is at the Disneyland Hotel. Well, yeah, at the Disneyland Hotel. We're having dinner here. I've got a fan of the show, and they had some DVC that they couldn't use. So we've got a couple nights here at the DVC Tower at the Disneyland Hotel. Just walked right into the Redwood Creek there. But we got a couple nights at the Disneyland Hotel, one for me, one for Liz. We're trading off so we can be home with Sophia and take her to school and everything. But I'll be here tonight, and then I'm gonna be using that as an opportunity to test rope dropping Disneyland, obviously, from, well, if you're staying here at the hotel, at the Disneyland Hotel. We're in the DVC Tower, and I'm going to be up. I think I'm going to, I know I might do the monorail. I'm not sure. If I do the monorail, that's a whole different video. But just to figure out what it's like to rope drop it here versus rope dropping out, on Hollywood Boulevard, or rope dropping if you're local and you drive in. It's a completely different experience in terms of how early you are getting to the actual rope. But it's also different in terms of how you feel, like the anxiety levels or whatever. I always feel much more relaxed and calm when I rope drop when I'm staying in the park, as opposed to when I'm trying to come in from home or even from across the street at Harbor. It feels more anxious. This is a much more chill. So that's the experience that I'm going to really try to capture, is the level of comfort that you might feel if you're rope dropping from the Disneyland Hotel. And now we're going to update our vibe here once more at Redwood Creek. Do I see construction walls? I do. That's shocking. Construction walls are up at Redwood Creek. What in the world is going on here, I wonder? Wow, they have closed up a whole section where the waterfall is. Yeah, around the corner. So if you want to get up here into this thing, I think you have to go around the backside, I guess. It dead ends right there. Oh, that's fascinating. I didn't catch this on our last construction report.
Do you guys hear the wildlife back there? I don't know if I could hear it over the music, but I heard a lot of bird sounds and some cawing and maybe some woodpeckers, but it's a little too chatty now, I guess. I can't hear it, but that was pretty cool.
Pretty busy out here in Redwood. I'm loving it. It's very busy back here. Oh my goodness. Love to see people taking advantage of this. This is one of the most underrated experiences that you can have in either park, and that includes for adults. I really love being here, even if I'm not, doing the rock walls or the zip lines or the slides. Just being here, and you just feel like you're somewhere, you're just completely disconnected from what's happening out there in the rest of the park, rest of the world. It's great. Redwood Creek is great. You even found Chip? Hi, Chip.
What? He carved it.
I know what you're doing. I don't know what you're doing, Chip. Oh, my shirt? You like it? You like my shirt? Even be kind to Dale as well, right? Yeah? All right. Thanks, Chip. See ya. Love you. Chip liked my shirt. Be kind to one another, fresh baked. It's free. Dad, this is new. You can come down here now. I guess you can do this. It's been such a long time since I've been able to walk through here because there's always some sort of thing, Santa Claus or meeting the dragon, what's her name? I forgot. But it's been a while since you've been able to walk down here just freely. It's kind of nice. I remember there was a time when they would do like kids activities here. One of the park rangers would come out here, and I can't remember what it was, but I remember them doing something up here. Kids, I don't know if they got up there or not, but the kids could maybe gather around and they would do something up here. It used to be kind of interactive for the kids. It's just, a nice little addition to the Redwood Creek Challenge experience. I feel like they've taken so much like that from the parks. They've taken a lot of those little extras over the course of the years, just in my lifetime alone and doing this park. And I still feel like it's an amazing value, Disneyland is, even DCA. I still feel like it's incredible value, and I'm very blessed and grateful that we get to do this, and be here and enjoy it. I think that this is the best value experience of any theme park. Any theme park, every single theme park is second to Disneyland in my opinion. Even the new ones, even Walt Disney World, I guess, thanks. Even Epic Universe, all that. This is the most complete experience you're gonna have coming to Disneyland. And but it used to be so great. Well, greater anyway, I guess. Again, I don't want to make it sound like I'm dissatisfied, because I'm not. It's still an incredible value coming here. All right, thank you. But man, we lost a few things. Meanwhile, also closed, Grizzly River Run. Add this to the list of reasons why maybe you don't want to be here in the 1st of January. Or if you are, you choose Disneyland instead. But like I said, in spite of all this, in spite of the extended wait times and the ride closures and all that, like I said, the vibes are still really good, man. People are happy to be here, just like me. Finally made our way to Grizzly Peak Airfield. I don't like the looks of that queue back there. I don't like the looks of that queue being all the way back here for Soarin'. Hey, how are you? That's looking like a 45-minute queue to me, if I do say so myself. I mean, look at that, seems really full back there. Not a lot of lightning lane, just a smattering. They're calling it, I think I saw 35 up there. Yeah, they're calling it 35. I don't know, man. That's a lot of switchbacks. Plus, this is only a part of it, man. You got the whole hallway down there. Then you got to make that left. Then you got to do the pre-show. Hi, guys. How are you? I just don't feel like there's any chance that's 35 minutes. This is another example of being wrong on the low side. It would be 35. Hi, guys. If it were right here, if they stopped the queue right there, that might be 35 minutes. When you add in that queue back there running alongside the backside of the building there, I don't know. I mean, it could be close, but that's another thing where they didn't bump this up. That's too low. That's a 45-minute queue, if you ask me.
And that brings us to Carthay Circle and the end of our show tonight, you guys. It's tonight, man. It is. What time is it? 4:47. You guys, I've been here for almost 6 hours. I gotta go find my wife. It's date night. Thanks you guys for joining me. I hope you guys had a great time today. I hope you enjoyed this show. We'll see you next week for State of Disneyland. I love you. Be safe out there. Be kind to one another. Fresh baked.